All right. So alignment in classic gaming language means the overall sensibility of someone, how they consider themselves and their role in the world, their responsibilities to the world, to others, etc., and their attitude toward them. And uses a lot of very firm language like good and evil, um, which you have changed to righteous versus wicked. Um, and I will try to remember those terms. Now, in the grid of the 9 alignments, uh, lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, the neutrals, and then the, the wickeds, uh, the lawful and righteous is a protector who believes in the proper way of doing things. The iconic example of a righteous and lawful person is a knight who protects the weak. Superman is technically righteous and good. Um, and you could say this person's a crusader. They believe in justice, and they believe that evil cannot be undone simply by a good act, and vice versa. There must be justice. Neutral and righteous means that they are generous toward other people. They believe in overall well being, but law versus chaos depends. In fact, across the board, for neutral, everything depends. It depends on the moment, the circumstances, the relative cost and benefit analysis. It can depend on anything. So when thinking of yourself as a neutral person, it's like when someone asks you what you would do in this case, you would say, well, what about this contingency? You would try to nail that down and choose what is optimal for what you think is best. Now, chaotic and righteous is someone to whom laws are, they're not beside the point, but they are frequently in the way. And sometimes they're fine for other people, but they do not apply to a chaotic person, because a chaotic person, even when they're righteous, always believes they know the best way, and laws or the right way or the proper way or the rules of procedure are just details. Um, so that is your rebel type, is chaotic and righteous. That is someone who believes that the rights have to be wrong, but there's probably something wrong with the system to start with. And that's why you can ignore it to a lot. So Robin Hood. Um, Mary Poppins is in a lot of way a chaotic and righteous character, right? Righteous in that she believes that in a form of justice, chaotic in that the laws of very nature and physics do not apply to her. They are just inconvenient. However, she is still righteous and altruistic, and she loves the children and will care for them, right? Lawful and neutral, that's a judge, period. That's someone who thinks the law is the primary thing that matters, and they have to adjust everything according to the rules, according to the right way of doing it. You might get somewhat, yeah, Judge Dredd in comic books is lawful and neutral. The law is everything. You might say RoboCop for the same reason. This is the law. And as for righteous versus wicked, it's like you broke the law. Now I'm going to rip you apart. Very, very difficult place to inhabit. However, really good if you want to create distance and authority, because who is more authoritative than a judge? right? They're relying on what exists. True neutral. Can anyone really be true neutral for a long time? Probably not. We all have human feelings and desires and intentions. And so the type of true neutrality, laws, take them or leave them. I'm not going to break them if it's not inconvenient to me, right? Um, but as for the way you act, the righteous versus wicked, everything depends. Today, I will act this way because it's in my benefit. Tomorrow, I won't. And a true neutral character is really, really hard to nail down because a lot of the characters that we like who seem to be really neutral are, in fact, kind of neutral to the righteous side. They mean well, they want to do good things. Lara Croft is a really, really bad archaeologist, right? She is neither good nor evil, right? She's neither wicked nor righteous, nor is she either particularly lawful or chaotic. Everything depends in the moment. And ditto Malcolm Richards, Captain, um, is also very, very neutral. In behaving neutral, um, that is someone who will always chooses the things that are the least effort for them because it's easiest. Their agenda comes first, no interest in other people's needs unless they happen to see that it corresponds with them. So if for really, really neutral people, it's about convenience and benefit in the moment. They could come across as apathetic, which is a different kind of distance and coldness, because that's someone who's like, yeah, it could help you. How would that help me? All right, that's a really neutral person. They could be really frustrating. A neutral top, I don't even know. I don't even know how I deal with them. I'm too lawful. A chaotic and neutral, Captain Jack Sparrow. End. Not really good. Not really lawful. Definitely not righteous. Not exactly wicked, but could be a little. Ditto with righteous, but oh my God, chaotic as hell and absolutely neutral in terms of is this a good thing for someone else or not? Captain Jack Sparrow is this a good thing for me? And if you're in the more of a villain type, Catwoman, who I know is one of your favorites, embraces chaotic neutral. She is not wicked. She's actually just doing things for her own benefit. She's not doing them to harm others. She would rather, in fact, not harm others. But, sometimes things happen and cats have claws. So that's a good description of a chaotic neutral type of character. It's someone who might do something unexpected and might do something for you. They're probably not going to go out of their way either way, but they might, because chaos. Chaos is king and anarchy is loose in the world. That's chaotic neutral. They're standing in the corner going, this is funny. Oh, wait a minute. Now it's affecting me and I have to do something. But yeah, until then, probably get a kick out of it. Then we get into the wicked roles. And in other discussions, of course, in gaming, these are the evil ones, very judgy. And we'll start with the lawful. Lawful and wicked are characters who understand and work within a strict code of some sort. All right, traditions, evil laws. They believe in rules and structure. And always important in a kinky relationship, to me, is believing in rules and structure. This is where me and Midori disagree a lot. But anyway, upholding those values is really, really important to them. And importantly, even more on top of that, they may not consider themselves to be wicked. Because they're lawful, they'll think they're doing the right thing most of the time, or they're doing it in the proper way. All right. Now it's difficult to tie these down, the lawful evil types, because we don't have many real life examples, except, sometimes you'll get a politician who does terrible, terrible things, but only if they could pass a law. They won't bribe someone. They won't go against the wall. They won't fix elections. They won't do anything like that. But they will use the law to do what will be harm to someone. And that's the wicked part. Wicked inherently means selfish. And so you want what you want. You're a tyrant. You're a dominator. Not dominant, but dominator. You want to be in charge under your rules. A lot of people say Darth Vader. Not true. Anyway, I always like to use the swordsman in a duel who operates under the code duello, and therefore, when their opponent makes a mistake that is not a critical mistake in dueling, drops the sword, allows them to pick it up. The person who says, let us take a breather in order to make this fight fair, that is lawful and wicked. Or as I put it, that's my rotten Rupert Ratskeller, the classic castle villain who will have quips, but will always allow you to pick up your sword before skewering you. And there's neutral and wicked, selfish, and no problem harming others to get what they want if they could get away with it. And that's the important part. The neutrality of wicked is that I don't care whether someone is harmed. I would prefer they weren't. And if I have to, though, okay. Other people are minor considerations. That is the malefactor. That is someone who can be counted on to be cruel for no reason whatsoever, because they are so selfish and they do not see others as important. They wouldn't see a problem with harming someone for fun, especially if they could get away with it. If they can't, they exit. I mean, wicked doesn't mean stupid. Wicked is.
Well, it takes a lot of brains to be, good at being wicked.
Cruella de Vil,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is neutral, but oh my God, is she wicked? She will harm other people and dogs, puppies. Will harm puppies to get a coat. And if that isn't the very definition of wicked, I don't know what is.
And Cruella would be kind of a fun scene persona for some
Yes.
scene.
I often use Cruella de Vil and Dalmatian as an example of top and bottom pairings.
Okay. So after your share here, I'm going to go back live with the class and talk about potential actual scene interpretations of this. But I'm wondering, all right, so very quickly, tell us the distinction between righteous and wicked and the distinction between lawful and chaotic, so it can stick in our heads.
Okay, so righteous versus wicked. Righteous is altruistic, believes in the betterment of others, believes in service, believes that if everyone is righteous, the world will be better. And that's why you want to be righteous. For wicked, wicked doesn't care. Okay, wicked is selfish, like neutral is selfish, and it is also malevolent. Wicked actually often has harm on the list of things they're going to do for for joy, for utilitarianism, just for the hell of it, or because they are actual pathological sadists as opposed to sexy sadists. A wicked person desires their benefit to come, desires their benefit to come at the cost of others, because how best to prove their strength and their own version of righteousness. And lawful is it is not according to law. It's not someone who obeys the laws, but someone who believes in the importance of laws, rules, and structure. Whereas chaotic is someone who believes those things are impediments, possibly good sometimes, usually good for most other people, but ignorable for them because they don't fit how their goals and desires. That's kind of the best I could do it without.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. So folks, we're looking at the Midori's Femdom Desire Alignment chart as our kind of appetites, moods, and kind of the characters in our heads, if you will, not necessarily role-playing, and where we might be going in play tonight, right now. But Laura, I'm going to get a little personal on you here. In your scene life and playing and kinking, and assuming for scenes, not relationship, what kind of tops appetite, if this were a grid, have you had fun with?
Well, I have my most rewarding relationships with tops who are lawful good. I do want partners who believe that it is in their best interest to nurture me and our relationship, and whose behavior fits a guide that I understand, whether it is generally made and accepted, like the guides of safe and consensual or whatever acronym you're using, or they're predictable enough that they will not surprise me in an unpleasant way. I have had really fun with chaotic good tops, who I think of as among the best service tops, because their chaotic nature will be like, but what about this? They want to deliver an experience. They are good in nature, therefore they are generous toward me. They want to deliver that good experience, but they might introduce something that I hadn't considered before because of their unpredictability.
So this part would be the first part when you said the lawful righteous or lawful good is relationship. In the scene and playtime, you've had fun, chaotics. And tell me more about some of the appetite personas, if you will, the grids that you've had fun with in play.
I've actually had fun with lawful neutral tops who are all about the rules.
Oh.
These are the rules for tonight. And in fact, I top like that a lot. These are the rules for tonight that you will obey. And if you don't, if you fail to meet expectations, there will be punishment. And I'm like, I understand the rules. They're just a judge. They are not here to sculpt a pleasurable experience for me outside of the entire play environment, which is in itself pleasurable to me, right? So they are not picking activities designed to titillate or get me off unless they also happen to fit their interests.
Mhm.
Their neutrality is in whether or not I'm enjoying it. Their lawful is that I have agreed to this. And also that, there's some arrangement for how I communicate with them. And every once in a while, I like myself a kind of a lawful evil type. Someone who actively has my best interests, so completely not in mind, but someone who utterly wants to destroy me, but will do it gradually.
This almost sounds like characters in your books.
Yeah, what?
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
almost like I'm a gamer who's also pinky. Yeah, I occupy a lot of different places too. I have been a chaotic neutral bottom who's like, I'm unpredictable, keep up with me. What? I'm not here for your pleasure.
Aha. So a little reveal here. The alignment chart can also work for states of bottoming, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Like I said, these are attitudes. These are positions to take. And it could be in the moment, or it could be, wow, today I actually feel like the Joker, so I must be chaotic and wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wake up, sweetheart. Today's gonna be hell. Is a chaotic, wicked kind of day, to which the bottom, depending on how they receive that sort of thing, might be oh my God, that was the worst day ever, with a laugh, because you should always use that line with a laugh, or at least in retrospect. um, or or it's that was a mind-blowing experience, and I never knew what was coming next, and I never knew it was going to end, and I'm still kind of afraid that they may pop out of a closet at any moment. They're right behind me, aren't they? That would be the happy victim of a chaotic and wicked top.
That would be a fun place for me too on the topping side. Oh, I'm going to pop some things at you. Okay,
Okay.
so which place do these fit in? Uh, Lucy from Charlie Brown.
Lucy, chaotic, neutral. Ugh, no wonder I don't like her.
Mm.
You never know what she's going to do, and everything's about her.
Lisa Simpson.
Lawful good, lawful and righteous. She is a crusader. Lisa will fight to the end for what she believes is right. And when she's done something wrong, she doesn't like to hide from her responsibilities. It makes her increasingly uncomfortable. So, yeah,
Martha Stewart.
I don't know. She may be true neutral.
Really?
Definitely not lawful, broke the law.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Don't know that she's wicked or righteous. She's certainly self-righteous. Is she wicked? No, I don't think she is. I don't think she desires other people's suffering. I think that it's probably beyond the point, beyond, her care. Although I think she likes Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, yeah. I, I think those two could co-top quite nicely.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
probably be fun. Oh God, yeah. She'd be true neutral. He'd just be chaotic, chaotic. Wow. Okay. My brain went into pause there. Cool. Next.
So neutral on a rare occasion can happen, but
Mhm.
there's not a need for people to necessarily explore that, but it can happen. All right, so next,
Neutral neutral is a pure selfishness
mhm.
that is unhindered by anything else. Babies are true neutral. Okay. A lot of animals are true neutral. All they think about is me and my needs. And everything else is beside the point.
What
Cats are
about
absolutely true neutral.
what about RuPaul in full RuPaul mode?
Chaotic good.
Okay.
I, I almost hate to admit it, but RuPaul is righteous in the end. RuPaul is right about a lot of things, disagree with some of the perspectives, but I have to admire the fact that they do believe they're doing what's right, and it's for the betterment of everyone. And I truly believe that they believe that
Beautiful.
it's so.
And the class, we will continue discussing about what moods, characters, roles, and beings, entities, and archetypes fit into different places on the alignment chart. But in the meantime, thank you. And where can people find you? Where do you want people to follow you to?
Well, I'm on Facebook. Please provide them with a link to my Laura Antoniou /marketplace page, which is my professional page. There's not a lot there, but if anything is happening that requires me to update my professions, it'll be there. Otherwise, please go to my Patreon at patreon.com/kvetch, KVETCH. That would be me. Because right now, Patreon is my primary mode of support. So, and there's a huge archive of stuff there. So once you, even for $1 a month, you could go all the way back to the beginning if you want, and just serve to your heart's content.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, class, we're going to get back to the live conversation. Okay.
Bye-bye.